How's it going, everybody? How's it going? It's been almost a year since I've done any sort of update video, any sort of Q&A format, and yeah, good to be here. Good to finally check that off the yearly docket. First one we got here, a comment from Caleb asking me who my inspiration for Wiz content was, and the answer to that question is nobody. I don't really watch Wizard 101 YouTube that much. I never really have, at least not since, what, 2014, 2012? I'm the only Wizard 101 YouTuber I've watched in the modern day within the last, like, 4 years is probably Blake PvP. I watched him pretty consistently, but even then, as it's PvP, it's nothing that I took inspiration from for my content, right? It's just a guy that I enjoyed watching, and he has since retired from YouTube videos as far as I'm aware still. Actually, that's not true. There was one guy I saw on Twitch like 2 years ago do permadeath and live stream it, and then I was like, hey, this is a good idea. It's like a Pokemon Nuzlocke, but it's in Wizard 101. So I just yoinked it and I took it, and then I did it in my first permadeath series in 2020. So to whoever that random guy was, thank you. Second question from Tactical Squillium. What a goated username and PFP. I gotta give props where they're due. But what are your top 10 favorite games from your childhood, and can we expect to see you creating content from it? If I had to list like a few of them off the top, and by off the top I mean from the Google document on my other monitor, DS era Pokemon, that's a big one. I'm working on some Pokemon stuff right now. That's a video that'll probably be out at some point in December. By the way, I should probably mention this now. There might not be an upload in November, and that's just how it goes. Because I'm working on 2 decently sized projects right now. Obviously, Wizard Permadeath. We're gonna start Dragonspire. That's great. That's awesome. We love Dragonspire. But also, I'm working on a charity lock, a Pokemon Black and White charity lock, which is something I did a form of last December, where I live streamed the tail end of it. This year, I'm just gonna record all of it, make it into one good solid video. I'm working on that right now, and those are 2 sort of heavy hitter, decent sized videos, so those will probably be out in December at some point. There might maybe be a permadeath at the tail end of November, but that's the soonest the uploads are coming. But besides that side tangent, childhood games, well, you can tell that I'm great at this. I've done these plenty of times before. Yeah, DS era Pokemon. Club Penguin was a big childhood game for me. Obviously can't really do videos about that anymore aside from maybe React content, because all the Club Penguin rewritten websites are filled with pedophiles, to be blunt. Fire Emblem in general is a series that I love as well. Obviously this is a Fire Emblem channel way back, even just earlier this year, probably like 6 months ago. All I did was upload Fire Emblem. So that's a series that has gotten content. We'll get more in the future at some point for sure, whenever I can find the time to really balance it. I think if there's any others, I guess Pirate 101 I kind of played in my childhood. I love Pirate 101, but I don't think I'll ever make content of it, because who watches that? Was the Pirate 101? There's like 5 people in that fan base still. I don't know, man. Next up, we got a question from Marcus, who asks a simple question: why Wizard 101 and not something else? The answer to that is because it's getting views, it's getting clicks. That's pretty much where it begins and ends. I guess in terms of why I even started making it to begin with, before I even knew that it would get views, is probably just because I like Wizard 101. I think it's a fun game, and I've played it for pretty much my entire life at this. I mean, I've played it since I was like 9 years old. It's been a long time. I might as well make some content out of it if I'm somewhat credible in some aspects of the game. And also the content space in general, up until recently, hasn't been super fleshed out. There's still, even still now, I think there's probably a decent amount of creative, even till now, I think there's probably still a decent amount of creative wiggle room. That's a tongue twister right there. That whole sentence is crazy. It's just like, I saw sort of a niche, and I was like, huh, maybe I can fill it a little bit with some like decently edited, solid Wizard 101 content with a twist involved, and that's sort of what I did, and it didn't work out the first time. It's working out now that I'm better at editing and better at recording and better at being sort of an online personality. Comment from PKO, he says, psst, need an editor? Yeah, I would love an editor. I would love an editor, but I'm broke. So I can't really hire an editor and pay them a wage that I would consider good and feasible. Editing's hard, and people deserve to be compensated pretty fairly for the work that they do. And at the moment, I'm just not making enough money to be able to hire an editor, and I probably won't be for a good chunk of time here. It is something that I need and will look for when I feel like I have the money to do so, but at the moment, it's just something I can't afford, pretty much. Another comment here from Ace Trainer Zach is the Can You Beat Wizard 101 Without Taking Damage series still going to continue? And I'm assuming what he means by this is, will it continue once I die? And the answer to that is, fuck no. Are you kidding me? I don't have time to play through that entire game and make videos about every world again. No way am I doing all that again. Maybe if it was just me having to play through all the worlds again until I beat them all in succession without dying, then yeah, I would do it again. But the issue is I need to record it and with verifiable proof of having done it and survived all the boss fights and all the worlds. And I just don't want to make videos of the same shit again, at least for now. Maybe I'll try it again at some point in the future when I feel like I've gotten better at editing. That's usually what I do, is I'll come back and visit old series again when I feel like my editing has gotten better to a point where I can improve upon the original product to a degree where it's worth making the videos again and trying it again. But if I die in this series, like, you're not seeing permadeath again, probably. At least for years to come, you're not seeing permadeath again. But if the question is just, hey, are you still making videos on this? Yeah. Till I die, yeah, I'll probably just keep these videos chugging along. I think my original bet was that I would die somewhere in Celestia, because Celestia kind of ramps up the difficulty with bosses in terms of cheats and in terms of health and in terms of what they can do. It ramps it up higher than all the other previous worlds in Arc 1, so I think Celestia is probably, if you were to place bets on sports bets or wherever, you know, I think maybe Celestia, somewhere in Arc 2 is where that, Celestia or Zafaria probably is where that series ends, realistically. Here's a good one. Who is the man behind the slaughter? That's a good question. Probably not something you should ask me, though. Maybe ask like a detective or a police officer or some sort of law enforcement. I don't know. Jeffrey Dahmer, he's topical right now. And I guess I'll outline the last couple of months of what I'll be uploading. It's going to be Wiz Permadeath. Probably at least one more episode of that will be coming within the next couple of months, either late November or somewhere in December. And then at first I was kind of leaning towards no charity stream this year, just because streaming is hard. Streaming is hard, and you have to like really make sure all the variables run smoothly, especially on YouTube streams, because you have to make a thumbnail, you have to schedule it at a specific time, make sure everything's running and up and running. Maybe I'll record some permadeath live. Maybe that'd be fun if that series is still going by then. That would actually be kind of cool if I did a Malice tier fight live. That would be cool. We'll see if I do that. We'll see if I get that far. I'm just kind of brainstorming right now, but I'll film something or other. Yeah, that about does it. So that's the Q&A. I'll probably do these sporadically. I'll have a channel post at some point whenever I want to do one within the next couple of months. Maybe I'll do them like every 3 or 4 months, like quarterly Q&As. Is that what we'll do? Probably. I mean, I'll do another update video in a month from now anyway, give or take. So you get that. That's about it, guys. I'll see ya whenever I do a larger scale production. I'll see you in that video, whether it's permadeath or it's charity lock. Whichever one comes first, I'm not sure. But yeah, see ya.